This is Chelsea. I'm going to start with your monthly horoscope for April. I'm just going to get right into it. There's a lot going on. I told all the other signs, or half the other signs, to tell me if they want me to shorten these videos. Aries says they like it long, so I'm like, crap, 20 minutes each times 12, you can do the math. But, oh well, if you guys want it short, let me know. Maybe one sign will say, yes, short, 5 minutes. I'll be so happy. If not, then we have a lot of aspects to get through, so let's just get through it. They should be in order. I mean, first you have your retrograde, that's still the Venus retrograde, that's still in effect. Be careful, guys, you know what I'm saying? I had my own I had my own tough moment where I tested the universe and they tested me back. So that's all I'm gonna say. Don't mess with Venus in retrograde. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get into what it is. So we have Mars trine Pluto in the 19th degree of Taurus. So Mars is in Taurus, Pluto is in Capricorn. Sorry. This is happening from April 6th to 7th. So what does this mean for Aries? Taurus is your second house, and then Capricorn is your 10th house. So this is going to be really great for work. It's a trine, so it's really good. At work, reputation, resources, wealth. You really want to think about, because Pluto is your deepest self, it's your psychology, your subconscious. So you really want to analyze if you're being true to yourself in your workplace. Is your reputation truly reflective of who you are? You may get into some like spats, some disputes, some fights related to who you are, and it may cut really, really deep. Deeper than you'd expect, because it's Mars square Pluto. You may also feel really sexual. You may even come off as a bit of a sex symbol, since it's your 10th house. 10th house is the highest point. So if any of you guys have like sexual careers, this is a great time to charge forward. A great time to charge forward with anything in your career. This is a trine. It's a great peaceful aspect, so it's not going to be anything like rough or like, you know, you're not going to it's not going to be hard. Pluto is difficult, but it's transformative. It's like, it's kind of like a really sad drama, you know, like it makes for a good movie, but it's actually really sad, and the transformation is really sad. And like, you know, people will say like, oh, you know, like a lot of times people actually tell me like, oh, wow, your life sounds so interesting, you should write a book. I'm like, it's easy for you to say that, but it's not easy to live this life. So that's kind of like what Pluto energy is. And Mars is definitely a warrior, a soldier, a bit combative, but more so action oriented. So look at how you're spending your money. If you're spending your money on other people, if you're using other people's money, be careful, be careful. I don't really see this as a bad thing though. Charge forth with whatever like resources you have. If you want to put resources towards your reputation or your career, go ahead and do that. It's a trine. Things are not going to be that hard. Next up, we have Venus square Saturn at the 27th degree of Pisces and Sag, and this is another square in which the moon comes in and materializes things. So I don't know if you guys remember last month when I was like, the moon is going to come in on this square and materialize things. Same thing is happening today. Sorry, not today. This is actually April 9th through the 11th. It's like a 3-day thing. It's kind of weird. Probably like 2 days. First half of the 9th, all of the 10th, and then the second half of the 11th. I'm sorry, guys. Look what they did to me. Isn't that crazy? Anyway, is it on right? It is. Yeah, sorry, they'll be off soon. So anyway, Venus square Saturn square Moon, 27th degree of Pisces, Sag. These are all immutable houses, so things will be happening really, really quickly. This is the first square, because Venus is still going backwards. So, you know, it's going to be testing. You're going to have to really analyze your higher mind and how you think about a lot of things, because Sag is in your ninth house, which is travel. Travel and higher mindedness, philosophy, etc., etc. So you're gonna have to think about like how you think about school, higher education, how you're working towards having these things work for you, because Venus is about your income, how you get money. It's also about the relationships you have. So take a good hard look at your relationships. If you have any cold relationships, harsh relationships, this is now a good time to reevaluate them, or it'll kind of just be like thrown in your face. You know, you can't hide from a square very much. And the moon will materialize things. This is happening in the 27th degree, so that's very close to the end. So it could feel like whatever's happening could be culminating to this big moment. And so you might feel a bit of urgency. You may not even feel that real big epiphany like at the end, but you will feel this urgency because it's in a really late degree. Be careful with how you travel. Be careful with how you present yourself to others, especially since Venus is aesthetics, and we've been this retrograde for a while, but like basically if you are not completely comfortable with how you're presenting yourself, you may not want to engage in any foreign contacts right now. That's my interpretation. Saturn is really harsh and unforgiving, so if people are more critical of how you look right now, just take it with a grain of salt. Be aware that it may not be them, it may just be Saturn triggering you right now. Oh, my bad. Sorry. Venus is not in your first house. Venus is in your 12th house. I am so sorry. Venus is in your 12th house because it went behind. I keep thinking Venus is in Aries. It's in your 12th house. So that's more so like relaxation. That's more so how you feel about spirituality again. So in terms of higher mindedness, you may have some conflicts with like your higher mindedness and some conflicts with how that relates to your spirituality. It could be that you are very, rooted, and you have a lot of faith, I guess, in logical things, but your 12th house is requiring you to see things in an illogical way. It's requiring you to take leaps of faith that you're not really ready or willing to take. So work on that. It is a square. The moon will be there. Try to tune into your feelings. The moon will be in Sag. This is on the 9th. Or it's Virgo. Okay. Right. Virgo. So since the moon will be in Virgo, then that's going to be your 6th house. So these are probably things you've been working on for some time. These are things that you may want to perfect it. I'm not going to say that it's going to come. You may get close. You may feel like you have a lot of work that could be done. But it's a 27th degree. So I just don't see completion. I see you getting close to completion on something that you've been grappling with deep down, but I don't really see you getting that completion. Sorry. It's not a bad thing. It's just what the universe wants right now. And maybe you don't even want to complete it on a square because you won't have clarity and it'll just be a little, crazy and chaotic. Let's move on. Mercury retrograde in your 2nd house, Taurus, the 4th degree of Taurus on April 11th. Okay, so yes, bad time for communication, but more so, it's a good time to rethink your finances, rethink how you value others, the things that you see as high quality in life, the type of food you eat. Definitely think about what you're eating and what you're saying to others. I see this as like you wanting to watch how you project outwards, and then what you take in inwards, not in terms of communication, more so what you eat. And a good time to review your resources, make sure everything's in order. It's just a Mercury retrograde. It's not that deep. I just want to let you guys know, you know, that it was happening, and I don't think it goes direct. I would have, yeah, it doesn't go direct in April, maybe like early May when I graduate. But yeah, so it doesn't go direct in April. So just, you know, be aware of the Mercury retrograde. It's a long time. Again, I don't really think you should end your life, or not like that, but like stop everything. I just don't really think that that makes a lot of sense. You just may want to be aware of how you communicate, specifically for you since it's in your second house, what you're eating, how you talk to others, and the things that you value, the people that you value, how your resources are being spent, where your resources come from. For example, you may like, you know, treat your mom like crap, and then you realize, oh wait, she pays for all my bills and she gives me all the allowance that I have. Maybe I should treat her a little bit better, or the money won't come anymore. Just saying. All right, next we have Venus going direct. Oh, thank God. I'm tired of it. In 26 degrees Pisces. This is April 16th. Hallelujah. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of these retrogrades. I'm tired of being tested, evaluating, assessing. I'm tired of so many things. But it's going direct in your 12th house. You only have 4 degrees of this in your 12th house. So just, you know, relax. Take it easy. Think about how you can recuperate from all this assessment, how you can charge forward. It's still, you know, in the period of time that it retrograded. So until it gets to around, like, I don't know, 15 degrees in Aries, approximately, you're still going to be in that retrograde period, like coming out of the retrograde, but it's going direct. So in a way, you could be like looking back on the things that you just learned, things that you just assessed, and moving past them. You will be tested, and that will be coming up shortly, but because you're going to make another square to Saturn. So it's like revisiting the same things that you revisited on the 9th. I can't do another video with this in my mouth. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. And that's on the 16th. So Venus goes direct on the 16th. Next we have Mercury conjunct Sun in 0 degrees Taurus on 4/20. LOL. So yeah, I mean, so Venus is going to Mercury is retrograde. The Sun is not retrograde. But this is a good time to analyze the true core things that you see as being quality. So like, God, a good time to look at crystals. It's the 0th degree, so that's kind of, you know, the baby elements of a sign. And Taurus is all about wealth and feeling nice and like just, you know, like physical pleasure and creature comforts. So if you don't feel comfortable, ask yourself why not. You know, Mercury is retrograde and the Sun is not. So like, Sun is going to be your true self. Mercury is going to be how you communicate with others. If you don't feel comfortable communicating with others, if you feel like you could tell from other people's communication that they don't value you or that you don't feel comfortable with them, you know, something to think about. This, I think you should tap into who or what makes you feel comfortable. And you may find this through communication. It could be that what somebody says doesn't make you feel comfortable, or certain things that you find on the internet don't make you feel comfortable, and so you don't want to associate yourself with them or with those places. Tap into what you truly want, and what you're truly meant to do in this world, and make sure that you're comfortable with that. Make sure that you have everything in your toolbox. Mercury is your toolbox to make sure that you know, can do what you really want. If, for example, like, if you wanted to be a plumber and you didn't get the proper training to be a plumber, you probably won't feel comfortable going into somebody's house and trying to solve whatever it is they have if you don't have the proper training. Now, you may have the proper training and just feel a little bit nervous, that's one thing. But if you didn't get the skills needed to do what you have to do, you'll feel uncomfortable. And Mercury, especially since it's in retrograde, it will show you the things that you don't have, things that maybe you thought you had but you really don't have. So that's that. Now we're going back to Venus square Saturn. Venus is direct squaring Saturn, and it's still 27th degree in Pisces. This is from April 21st to 23rd. Like I said, squares are terrible. Saturn is a malefic planet, does not hold back, but Venus is a nicer planet, so you might start to, some of the things that you're supposed to, I see this as like, we've been having so many squares to Saturn, so we've had to look at Saturnian things in our lives, whether we liked it or not. But Venus is a nicer planet, so it may show it to us in nicer ways, but at the same time, if you don't pay attention, Saturn's gonna get you, you know. It's gonna get you. So you want to be aware, you want to be ready. That's in the 27th degree of Pisces and Sag, which is your 9th house and your 12th house. So again, looking into your belief systems. I don't think that, even though we like to think of like spirituality as like separate from like how we, from like 9th house activities, I think they're very much the same. If your spirit is not in line with how you think, if there's any sort of disparity there, it'd be hard to function, because you feel one way, you think another way, and you want to go in opposite directions, but you're only one person. So that's sort of the angle you may want to take. You may want to look at relationships that help you work this out, or relationships that don't help. You know, I have relationships in my life who I had to, you know, just cut off mentally, because I'm like, you know, every time I talk to you, I get more confused. I'm already a pretty confused person. Every time I talk to you, it gets worse. So clearly, you know, you're not the one. Or sometimes there's people in your life who actually are very helpful in this regard, in helping you piece together what you believe and what you think. So yeah, that's definitely a place to pay attention to on those days. Then we have Mercury conjunct Uranus in Aries. That's nice. Mercury is still retrograde. This is in 25 degrees Aries. This is from April 28th to April 29th. So Mercury conjunct Uranus. Good time to go viral if you're doing anything with the internet, or to make yourself known. If you have any unpopular ideas, now is a good time to voice them. You may find that like people actually do resonate with you, or if you didn't know you had such an unpopular idea, now you'll pretty much figure it out right now. If you mention it, people can be like, "Wow, that's really left field," and that can be good or bad. You know, Uranus, there's no guarantees. You know, you know, Uranus gives fame, but they didn't specify whether you're getting good fame or bad fame. That's just what it is. But anything that has to do with Mercury communications, intelligence, I think is a good time to study. Especially if you have something really big that you want to study for, it's a good time to shine. And just kind of like do any ritualistic things to make sure, like for example, if you have like a really big test coming up, you may want to do a ritual now so that you'll do well on the test then, even though the test is not on that day, which is April 28th to 29th. It's in Aries, so your first house, so be yourself, you know what I'm saying? But like, you definitely don't want to be fake on this day. And you definitely want to share your thoughts. Share your thoughts with those who are unconventional, people who you may not even think will appreciate it. Share your thoughts with people who are very much so unlike you, who are very unique. Not just unlike you, but unique. There's plenty of people who are unlike you, who are just like everybody else. But people who really pique your interest, tickle your fancy, you'll have a lot of rapid communication that come out the blue. I see it as being good. And I see you as seeing a lot of this happening as opposed to it happening behind the scenes. Because the next thing is happening behind the scenes. Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. Okay. On the 26th of April, Pluto retrograde. What can you expect? If any of you guys are in therapy, this is a great time for therapy. Not necessarily to begin it, but like it's a great time to start uncovering deeper and deeper things. Pluto retrograde will help us dig into our subconscious and really figure out what's going on. It's going to be happening so behind the scenes you may not even be aware. I just wanted to shout it out. I had a friend who loves Pluto and she was like, is Pluto going retrograde? I was like, let me check. And it was. I tend to overlook the outer planets, sorry. But like, you know, this is an interesting aspect. So yeah, like this is it's not really going to be like super influential, but if you want to think of it on a world view, you can start seeing the world analyzing its own self, getting more in touch with its own self, and realizing it's kind of like how like I've been saying, like a lot of psychological diseases, the symptoms are so obvious to other people, but it's not obvious. Well, the source of the symptoms, I should say, are so obvious to other people, but it's not obvious to the people who are actually going through it. And so that's kind of how it can manifest. So the world or even different nations may be seeing things so obviously in front of them, but they may not be able to absorb it, especially if you know anybody around 9 degrees in Capricorn. For me, I have 14 degrees in Cancer. That's actually kind of off, but like anybody in the cardinal signs around 9 degrees, Aries, if you're around 9 degrees, you may feel it because it's squaring you. So look within. For you, it's in your 10th house. So again, look at your reputation, see what can be mended. There may be things that you don't realize that are tainting your reputation or just kind of overcasting a shadow on your reputation that you may want to be more aware of, so you can like not have that. So yeah, last but not least, we got the moon trines. First moon trine is April 2nd in Gemini, which is your 3rd house of communication. So look at all your friends and family and your mailman, your milkman, whatever. And then April 21st in Aquarius, which is actually right around the Venus square Saturn. Maybe it will help with that. Maybe it won't. I cannot say. That's all I have for you. See you guys in May. Bye.